My goal for this call each month is to be able to one introduce coaches who are coming into this business, but then also have you guys have a space where you can come and be able to bring in new coaches. Oh my gosh, so cute. Bring in new coaches and then know that there is going to be an opportunity for them to listen in on something and then feel like, and for you guys to know, like, okay, every first of the month, we're going to do a new coach call. So if you're been in the business for a while, it might, not be necessarily for you, but I mean, Leanne's been in it for so long and Becca, you have too, but you know, having a space where you can bring in those new coaches and they can hear kind of really what it is to start off a business and start it off right. So, if there were a lot of new coaches on here, I would kind of talk about the discussion of why you signed up. Like, I want that interaction on this first call to be what was your reason to sign up? And for all of us, it might be really different. When I signed up, it wasn't to make tons of money, but it was to have possibly that option. When Leanne signed up, she signed up specifically as a discount coach, expecting to not do anything with the business. So the nice thing is that with this business is that you have the ability to set the pace for yourself, change that pace, and also change your reasoning, change your vision and your goals depending on what season of life you're in. And that's one thing that I really love about the business aspect, is that it's your race, it's your business, it's this business model that's set up to help you and provide the best tools for you, but in reality it's the work that you put in and it's at what pace you want to go. So whether that be a walk, jog, or run. And to be honest with you, I feel like I've been in all parts of that within the business. So, and I feel like if you've been in it long enough, you can say, I've gone through all of those seasons. And I think that's totally okay. And I think it's a nice thing to know that this is still here when you're ready, or if you're ready to be in hustle mode, or you have this season of time, or really just this fire in your heart to like, I'm ready to get this going. Like, I'm ready to bust it and be at the top, or just show myself what I can do within my own business, within my own physical journey, to grow mentally. I think, all of those things, it is totally your call. And so know that as a new coach, whatever pace, it doesn't have to be the pace of your coach. It doesn't have to be the pace of the person that you're signing up with. It's totally up to you. And one of the things that I wanted to say to new coaches is that I feel like the biggest and best advice is to be a student, of this business. Like, you're literally getting to invest in a business for $160. And when I hear that people have to take out personal loans to invest in businesses, whether it be like another MLM or something different, we are so fortunate that we get to invest in our business for $160 and get right off the bat products that are going to, one, help us in our own journey, and then also be able to promote what we're really trying to set up for ourselves. So be a student, do it yourself. Go into the Beachbody office, coach office, and start, looking up things, watching videos. I was looking up something today about the four vitals, and I randomly popped up this video by Scotty Hobbs, who's a coach, has been a coach forever. And I watched, and it was like this remake of the four vitals, which I'm going to get to. But it was just interesting because I was like, man, even over 5 years into this business, and I sat there and watched this call that I just happened to stumble on because I was looking something up, and it just gave me more insight onto how to maybe reword something to share with you guys. So be a student, do it yourself, don't be afraid to ask questions, whether it be in the team page, whether it be a message to me, or to your coach or whatever. But make sure that if you're ready to move your business forward, that you're asking those questions, you're diving in, because this is your business. Like I said before, your why may change, but your mindset should always be growing. And I've seen Leanne post about this a lot lately, but just about how, she has grown so much in her mindset of just whether it being negative or being in the gossip or whatever, and just like how that shifted throughout her journey. And it's like she started this journey to get healthier, but then within that, she's grown in so many other different areas. And so it's like your why may change. Maybe you started off to just get a discount on your products, but now you see this vision to maybe pay off debt, or have funds to in your savings account, or whatever that might look like. But it's like, no matter what that is, your mindset is constantly growing. It's constantly being molded and built. And that is such a blessing. Like that, for me to know that I get to be a part of a community, but also have a job that encourages me to be my best self, not just my body, but like my mind and my soul, and encourage those people around me to do the same. I feel like that doesn't happen often. And so making sure that you're constantly growing that. So I did want to talk about the 4 vitals. And I know that's something I honestly haven't talked about in a long time, which is why I wanted to like not just review myself on it, but also make sure that I was giving you guys new or good information. So we always hear being a product of the product, which is one of the vitals. But one thing I heard today was being proof that our products work. So yes, being a product of the product, but also making sure that if you're starting your journey as a brand new coach, or maybe you've been in a rut for a while, you are using the product to be proof yourself that those products are working. And because you have your own results, you have your results, not just other people's, but you're really getting those for yourself. So if you've never finished a program, start to finish a program. If you've never gone all in, go all in. If you're in a rut, ask yourself, like, when's the last time you've really gone all in nutrition and fitness, and that you've been able to post about it because you were like, had that new fire in your system. And if that might be you as a coach who's been around for a while, or if you're a new coach, what program are you doing, and are you sharing about it? Are you getting your results? Are you getting excited so much that you don't feel like you have to sell anything, because your results are speaking for themselves, and you're so excited for your own journey? Why would you not want to share it? And so I feel like when I am in the zone, I feel like everything picks up. When my workouts are on point, my nutrition's on point, my business is on point, because then I'm loving being able to share and talk about these things, because they are working, because I'm proof of it. It's like, I don't have to, I'm excited and I do the background work, but I love being able to use myself and then those people in my tribe to share and get people excited. So loving using my own experience. Oh, that's one of the things that I said. Being around for a while, there's so many programs that have come out, and it might not be your jam. And I always say, like, you got to do what works for you. But it is so nice doing programs that are launched so that you can speak on your experience. You can speak on what equipment is being used. You can speak on maybe what would not work for somebody because of this energy, or them being pregnant, or them having maybe this not being able to do high impact, or whatever it might be, speaking from your own experiences. Okay, so that's one, being a product of the product and being able to speak on those things. So another one that we talk about of the 4 vitals is inviting. And I feel like so many people get so stressed out about this. But one of the things that Scotty Hobbs said was connect. It's not just about the invite. It's not just about sending out a message saying, join me. It's about connecting, one, so you're not just sending people all these cold messages and you've never talked to them before, or you have no relationship with them, or you haven't talked to them since high school, but connecting with them, right? Whether it be through their post, writing down a group of people, like, you know what, I'm going to focus on these 10 people and I'm going to love on them this month. That's connecting. And then you have others that you've been talking to for a while. So this is where the consistency comes in. If you are constantly connecting, then you're going to constantly have people to invite. If you are never connecting with people, then it's going to be really hard, or maybe it's going to feel a little bit more icky if you haven't ever talked to anybody and then now you're inviting them into an accountability group. So having those posts on your stories that have nothing to do with Beachbody, like that is a way that you can connect with people. I just saw this on Leanne's because I was reading all the comments about her posting about new like not Tupperware, but like Calphalon, like what kind of new cooking ware, and had nothing to do with Beachbody, but that's her connecting and having real conversations about something that she was really curious about when I posted about baby stuff. So it's like making that connection, building those relationships, inviting people, but then also having that follow-up. I was purchasing something yesterday, 2 days ago, from a girl who does Young Living, and I got all my stuff in my cart, and then something happened. Haven needed me outside, stopped, totally forgot. She checked back in with me and I was like, oh my gosh, yes. And I went and ordered. So that just goes to show you that it sometimes takes people a couple of times for you reminding them, because they are busy. They get busy. We have lives. We get overwhelmed. We forget. We whatever. That's just a part of it. So the follow-up is truly magic because you're human. Whether they either forgot or were wondering about it, having that ability to have that written down on your tracker or in a notebook and being able to follow back up with them is super important. Okay. Sorry. I feel like I have a lot of information, but I want to talk fast, but make sure that I get it all in. Are there any questions so far? Feel good? We good? What another thing that I was going to say with the connect, invite, follow up, so the inviting process, is that a lot of times you see these coaches that have lots of Success Club points, and you see that they are building their businesses and rocking their businesses. But you have to remember, and I feel like it's maybe not talked about a lot, is that there is so much magic being done behind the scenes. And behind the scenes is where a lot of the magic happens. So really having your business activity tracker, which can be found in your documents under what's in your coach office. And if you go to, I think, training tools, your business activity trackers in there, I'll have to double check. But it's inside it's inside our team page. So being able to print that out and have it with you when you're working is so important. But that behind the scenes, the inviting, the looking at who's following your stories and encouraging people to come do this with you. It's not going to be necessarily on a poll every single time. I mean, my mom votes on my poll every single time I do a poll. And that's why sometimes it looks like 50 and 50. So maybe I have Bridget on one side and, Leanne and then my mom. Well, nobody knows that. So it's me going into who's following me and who watched the entire thing of my story and being able to, have that conversation and start that conversation and that nobody knows about that. So making sure that you're doing that behind the scenes work. Personal development is going back to that growth mindset. So no matter why you're doing this, and your vision might change, and what you're going for might change. I mean, mine totally has. Right now I have my why right here, and it's to help women feel financial freedom and also make buying a piece of land possible. Those are my two visions right now. But that was not what I started with. And I feel like I've had the ability to change that because of a growth mindset. And I literally never read a book after high school until I started this business, which is really sad, but I just didn't like reading. And so I, listening to audibles and finding podcasts that you like, or if you're a book person, finding a book, but really diving in for at least, at the minimum, 10 to 15 minutes a day, whether that's on your commute to work, whether that's you waking up 15 minutes earlier so you can listen to something before your kids get up, whatever that looks like for you, it is, I feel like, of the utmost importance for you to be growing your mind. Because if you are an entrepreneur, if you are a business builder, you are constantly going to need your cup being filled. And if you are trying to give from an empty cup, or you don't have the ideas, my post today came from the podcast I listened to yesterday that Leanne sent me. And it spoke, like I just clicked on one and it spoke so much to me, but it's like exactly what I needed to hear. And it's just, even if it's just 10 minutes, 15 minutes, if you get 5 minutes in, but having that time to really soak in that's something for yourself that's going to keep you going. And so finding that personal development to learn something for you, and to better yourself. I do a devotional every morning, but then I also try to do something that's going to grow my mindset for my business too. And sometimes they coincide together, like some books that I've read coincide together, and then sometimes they're separate. So, and then the fourth vital is recognition. And not every time I'm going to talk about all four of these, but I feel like we haven't touched on it in a really long time. And so I wanted to bring this back to the forefront of our minds, because when you look at all these things, it's like, these are business building activities. If you are doing these things, at the least, like, your business will be growing. Because I feel like Emerald is a mindset, and even Diamond is a mindset, but it's like, you have to be doing those consistent things every day. And when I give myself a gut check of why my business isn't growing or why I'm not hitting Success Club, it's because I'm really not putting in the work. I'm really not taking the time to focus on things that are going to build my business. So recognition is the last one I have on here, the last four of the vitals. And it's not everybody's love language to be recognized, but I feel like I'm out of breath. I feel like it is so sweet and it's so nice to have and work for a business that recognizes your success, big or small. I mean, I feel like you barely even maybe possibly get a pat on the back for, having like 90% pass the STAR test for teaching, but maybe you get a high five from your co-teacher, but you don't ever get that recognition a lot of times in a company. And with Beachbody, and especially our team, and from Sister Empire all the way down, you get that. You have these things that you're able to go to and to be recognized for. So we get to celebrate every success. And whether that's you doing that for your challengers, if you don't have any coaches yet, or you celebrating your coaches. And I swear, like, I get so many thank yous for sending a simple pack of Energize, or maybe the person wanted to try chocolate Shakeology because they knew they were going to love it, but I sent them a strawberry pack just to see, like, I just wanted to send this to you. And they are so grateful. So it doesn't have to be some extravagant thing. It could be a simple note, And it's funny, when I was like a year ago, I bought these cards that had this like note written out, and it was like so cute, and I got it from Vistaprint. And then I realized it's just as good for me to write these cards. It's more personable for me to write this and send it in the mail, because I feel like that shows that person, like, I'm thinking about you. So I feel like that in itself is a celebration. Even if it's not celebrating somebody in a challenge group or celebrating a coach, just checking in with your coaches or sending them $10 gift card, or just sending them a, hey girl, like thinking about you, so proud of you for like you being consistent this week in your workouts. That is celebration. And not everybody wants it to be out loud, to be publicized, and which is something that we do and I get excited about. But recognition, I feel like, matters, and we get to be a part of a company that really tunes into that. And I feel like whether how big or small your business is, it's something that is important. So making sure that you have those results for you, you have results for your customers, and you have results for your coaches. So you are being the proof of the product. You are also helping and checking in with your customers, whether you have one or whether you have 10, whatever it might be. It is your job to guide them and lead them. And it's not saying that you have to be a know-it-all when it comes to health and fitness and nutrition. That's why we work for this company who literally gives us all of the tools to guide people. And that's what we were there. We were there for support and motivation. We're there for, like, I have no idea the answer to that, I'm going to go ask the question. It does not mean that you have to know it all. It just means that you are available to help and to encourage and to motivate for these women to have their best results. Anybody have anything to add? One of the things I love about being a part of this team is I feel like, as you're growing your business, I feel like when you decide to dive into the team and really embrace that team atmosphere, it's like a pendulum swing, and or a snowball effect. It just keeps getting bigger and better and bigger and better, until you're in this community where you're like, oh my gosh, look how much this has grown. But it takes you being involved, whether that is in celebration. So on Thursdays, it's like in Sister Empire, I don't know half the people who are getting recognized, probably because we haven't had a live event in a while, but you bet your booty I go in there and celebrate them like I know them. So when people see that on their post or on their Facebook or on their Instagram, they're like, man, this team is on fire. Like, look at all of these comments. So making sure that you're celebrating people, celebrating this team, and igniting your own fire through that, but also celebrating and being a part of this team within the hustle. I feel like when you dive into the hustle part of a coach, and that's the season you're in, you're like, yes, I'm ready. It's so sweet. It's so like invigorating and just exciting to be a part of that hustle and that drive and that fire. And no, it's not going to be every single day of the week of every single month, but I promise you, if you're like, I'm doing this, I'm going to set this date, I'm going to go to this diamond retreat, I'm going to hold this lock, I'm going to, invite this many people, and then in typing it out or telling somebody you're doing it and like sending the messages, it's encouraging and it just keeps you going. And also, I know with live events, they haven't happened in a while, but being a part of the team by going to live events or showing up on team calls, or however you can do it right now, I feel like is so important, because when you do get the opportunity to go to a live event, you don't feel like you're left out. You don't feel like you don't know anybody, because you've literally been getting on a Zoom call for the past 5 months with somebody. Or when you show up because you busted tail to get to this diamond retreat, you're going to know people because you put in the work and you chose to be a part of the team. So that's all I have for notes. I talked really fast. Sorry. um, but I wanted just to be able to put a little bit out there, because I feel like we all have different places that we're at in our business, no matter how long we've been in the business or not. But I definitely want you guys to be able to use this first Zoom call of the month to be able to invite new coaches in, and get them excited, and just be able to show them how we rally together to push forward. So good. Any questions? Any celebrations for this week? I've done every workout and I'm really proud of myself because I was in a real bad mood yesterday. Bridget, only like a week and a half?